Yo, what's going on, guys? We got to talk about this rumor. So the New York Knicks are interested in Dejounte Murray and OG Anunoby. So there's a couple things we got to talk about. First off, Michael Scott is reporting that OG Anunoby and Dejounte Murray are two guys that the Knicks are interested in. Now, Dejounte Murray is represented by Clutch Sports, and Leon Rose and William Wesley, the two top execs for the Knicks, are former CAA, which is basically like those are the two biggest agencies in sports, and they've basically been reluctant to work with deals with Clutch Sports representative players. Now, if DeJounte Murray were to demand to trade everything to the Knicks, everybody would be kumbaya. But if it seems to be OG Anunoby is going to be the guy the Knicks go for, and I think it's the better fit because with a Knicks and Raptors trade, the Knicks, because they have a problem with their, not having a big man that they right now with Mitchell Robinson's injury being for the rest of the season. Because basically a Raptors trade was, so let's just get into the reports and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What would a DeJounte Murray trade be for? And the thing is, I think the Knicks are already set at the guard position and I think they need a wing guy. Now let's get right into it. Let's talk about each report. And let's see how this could work out. Now, for me, any deal that if we're hearing about this is going to be centered around probably a combination of RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Evan Fournier. All three of the guys, two of those guys, maybe just one of them. So the New York Knicks are interested, according to Michael Scott of Hoops Hype, which I work for, DeJounte Murray and OG Anunoby. DeJounte Murray is not available to be traded until January 9th, as he signed a 4-year, $120 million extension with the Hawks this offseason, so he doesn't become trade eligible till the 9th of January, 2024. Now, the Knicks also remain interested in OG Anunoby. The Knicks and Raptors briefly discussed a deal between themselves for OG Anunoby in exchange for RJ Barrett last year, though nothing materialized. Now, the Knicks will also consider moving Emmanuel Quickley in for the right price. Now, with that being said, we talked about any deals involving DeJounte Murray. The Knicks are a bit more reluctant. If, let's say, Murray requested a trade to New York, Paul would make it work. Outside of that, Rich Paul has been reluctant to work with the Knicks and vice versa. In my mind, look, there's Christian Colocu, Otto Porter, Thad Young, Precious Achiuwa, Chris Boucher, Malachi Flynn. And did I say Christian Colocu already in there? I don't know. But any of those 7 dudes with OG Anunoby would be a good haul. Let's say, I think it's like just under like a few $1 million right here that Emmanuel Quickley makes. So if we look at the Knicks salary, if you were to package with OG making $20 million this year, the deal would have to be, I think the best deal, if you do a deal of RJ Barrett package with Evan Fournier, that brings you to about $42 million in tradable salary. You can even throw in the player exception that you got from that they haven't been approved, but if they get the disabled player exception, it's like 7.8 additional money they get. But a package of Emmanuel Quickley in there too brings it to $46 million that they would be trading. Now, if they hit up the Raptors, 3 first-round picks have to be 2 or 3 first-round picks. So let's do a package of Evan Fournier and maybe let's do Evan Fournier, Emmanuel Quickley, and RJ Barrett. 2 first-round picks for OG Anunoby. And would we want to do... This is where it gets interesting, because do you want to bring in like Malachi Flynn as another point guard? Or are you cool with Miles McBride? And do you want Chris Boucher? Who I think Chris Boucher would be pretty cool in my opinion. I really like Chris Boucher. Like, for me, I look at this team right now. I personally would want a package of OG Anunoby as the main thing. Then, I mean, we could also ask for Gary Trent. It could be OG Anunoby, Gary Trent, Precious Achiuwa, and maybe Chris Boucher. There's ways to make this deal, because if you do OG with Gary Trent, that's $36 million. And you could do Precious Achiuwa, which brings you to 40. And if they wanted, they would have to actually they could do OG Anunoby, Gary Trent, and Chris Boucher, or it could be OG Anunoby, Gary Trent, and Precious Achiuwa for Evan Fournier Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, 2 first-round picks. Like, I don't know if that's overpriced. Like, Raptors fans are, like, super high on OG. What are your guys' thoughts if you're a Knicks or Raptors fan? I just think OG makes more sense next to Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle than Dejounte Murray. It becomes OG doesn't need the ball in his hand.